was a cool, crisp morning as Mr. Kracker arrived at the land of the lakes. The slider had dropped him off at a farmer's field, close to where he wanted to go. He heard that Fowler was in the area, and he was just making sure everything was okay. Driftwood scatters the beach as Mr. Kracker makes his way down to the lakeside. He stops for a second to take in the view. There it was, Great Lake, the largest lake in the land of the lakes. Steel-colored clouds fill the sky as Mr. Kracker walks along the rocky shoreline. Mr. Kracker heads toward what looks like a camp at the edge of the bay. As Mr. Kracker checks out his new campsite, something floats to the shoreline. It's a raft, and someone's on it. It doesn't take Mr. Kracker long before he sees the raft floating in the bay. Hello out there. Are you okay? Not sure if the boy is alive or dead, he checks for a pulse and finds one. Hey there, wake up. The boy slowly raises to his feet, still exhausted from the journey.
Who are you? And where am I?
Name's Mr. Kracker. Let's get this raft ashore, and then we'll talk. So I just found this place. Looks like someone left their axe and a kettle here. Maybe we can put it to use. So, what's your name?
My name's Tristan. It's nice to meet you. Do you have any water by chance?
Well, I'll throw a kettle of water on in a bit. Tell me more about yourself.
I come from Neutral Island.
Neutral Island? I haven't heard that name in a while. That's somewhere in the middle of Great Lake, isn't it?
It's weird because my compass doesn't seem to be working. All I know is that I came from around back there.
So why did you leave the island?
Well, I met this guy. He seemed friendly at first, but then he started grabbing for my neck. I think what he was trying to get was the key. So then I walked around. I went everywhere. But he kept chasing me. And so I had to come here.
Was this guy my size? With blonde hair?
Yeah, he was about the same size as you are.
That's where Fowler ended up.
Fowler? Who's that?
Well, he's not someone you should get too familiar with. How about a fire? You're looking cold.
That sounds great. Maybe you can get some water boiling as well.
Okay. This looks like some pretty dry kindling. And whoever who was here last left me a pack of matches, so that'll do well. What you got there?
Well, it's an old pocket watch my grandfather gave to me. Just checking if it's still working. But it doesn't seem to me like it's working.
Well, strange things don't work very well in Crackerland. But your items are neutral. They should work all right here.
Yeah, it's interesting how these different worlds work compared to mine.
Yeah, we live in strange times. I'm going to put a few more pieces of wood on here and we'll get that kettle boiling soon. You're probably thirsty.
Yeah, we can fill up my water skin. Some tea sounds nice too.
She's a little smoky, but she'll warm you up in no time. So, are you planning on taking the raft back to Neutral Island?
No, I don't think I should take it back.
Why not?
Well, I think I might have sort of taken it for Mr. Fowler on accident.
Uh-oh.
So I think I should take a slider back instead.
Yeah, that's probably the safest thing. What's that hanging around your neck there?
It's called a skull key. It was what Fowler was after.
Well, if he was after it, it must be worth something.
I found it in a cave at Neutral Island. Maybe one day someone will use it to unlock something of value.
I think I know someone who could help you with that.
Who's that?
His name's Mr. E, and he lives in Strangeland.
Well, I'm not too fond of Strangeland.
I'm not either, but I have a friend named LJ that could deliver it.
Well, if you trust him, then I trust him too.
I'd trust LJ with my life. I'd say that fire's looking pretty good. I'll grab the kettle, and we can boil some water now. I always boil all my water, especially if it's from the lake. It'll kill any bacteria that might be in there. It shouldn't take long.
Yeah, this fire's getting pretty warm. I'm starting to get toasty.
Let's see that watch of yours. Looks like there's some water damage. If that dries up, it should be fine. The kettle's ready now. Let's fill up that water skin. There, that'll do it.
Do you have any food around here or anything?
No, I was just thinking of catching a fish before you drifted in.
Oh, alright. Maybe I'll grab something on my way back then. Well, I think I'm replenished enough to start going again. So, here's your key that you asked for.
It's in good hands. I'll get it to Mr. E as soon as I can.
Alrighty then. Okay. See you now, Mr. Kracker.
God bless, Tristan. Maybe we'll meet again someday. Ready to go, Mr. Kracker grabs his walking stick, puts the fire out, and heads for home. It was getting dark by the time Mr. Kracker got back from the land of lakes. He was looking forward to sharing his story with Phineas. Phineas? That's strange. The fire's going, but no Phineas. Hey, LJ, I knew somebody was looking after the cabin. Yeah, it's just me, Mr. Kracker. Phineas stepped out for a bit. Well, I'm glad you're here. I got something for you. What's that? It's a skeleton key. I'd like you to bring it over to Mr. E's so we can get it checked out. Sure thing, Mr. Kracker. I'll get on it right away. Thanks for looking after the cabin, LG. Mr. Kracker's journal was getting full of exciting adventures. He thought he'd add his latest to the list. This one was of a boy, Tristan, who traveled from an island called Neutral. As he drank a hot drink, he thought about Tristan and was wondering if he'd made it back to the island safely. I better give the island a visit, he thought, especially since Fowler's still there. Mr. Kracker was up bright and early, ready for another adventure. With morning frost on the path, winter was on its way. The slider took him once again to Great Lake, in the land of the lakes. It was a beautiful day, and Mr. Kracker couldn't resist to take in the view. Somewhere, far beyond those cliffs, lies the island called Neutral. Mr. Kracker headed for the camp where he had met Tristan. After a tasty meal of dried fish, Mr. Kracker treated himself to a pot of herbal tea. It was getting dark. Mr. Kracker walked around the campsite to find a nice place to sleep for the night, so he'd be well rested in the morning. And after a good sleep, he continued on his way. Snow had fallen overnight. The air was cool and crisp as Mr. Kracker made his way up the steep incline of Claw Cliff. Mr. Kracker had heard rumors of a cave in Claw Cliffs, but he never thought he'd find it. It was hard to see in the cave, but Mr. Kracker's curiosity got the best of him. And he didn't see the slider until it was too late. Mr. Kracker had no idea where he was. With fog so thick he could hardly see, he looked around for somewhere to get a better view. It wasn't until he climbed a small hill that he realized where he was. His raft missing, Mr. Fowler had been stranded on the island for days. He couldn't wait until the fog cleared so he could see where he was going. Be careful, Mr. Fowler. Hey, food. Mr. Fowler had a strange feeling he was being watched. And just when Fowler thought that he'd never get off the island, he saw something that made him change his mind. Kracker will know a way off the island, he thought. The fog started to lift, and it began to snow as Mr. Kracker descended the backside of the mountain. And as the path widened, he could see what looked like a village in the valley below. Welcome to the cozy village of Peaceville. Fowler had been following Kracker's tracks for some time now. But now the tracks led off in different directions, and Fowler was confused on which ones to follow. He decided to follow the path that led toward a run-down shack in the distance. As the fog clears, Fowler moves closer to the shady shack. Fowler was hesitant at first, but when he saw no one was around, he decided to check things out a little closer. The door opened easily into a dimly lit room. It looked like no one had been here for some time. "This'll do fine," he said. "I'll set up camp here for the night." Just across the field from where Fowler had made camp stood a lone house at the fringe of a wood. As the evening falls on Peaceville, a human figure arrives in the wood. The young lady looks about, then bending down, starts to gather winter fuel. Not far away, a familiar figure also enters the wood and descends into the vale. With fingers numb from cold, the young lady tied up her bundle of sticks and continued down the trail. Mr. Kracker followed at a distance, not wanting to scare the young lady. These dried berries would go great with tomorrow's breakfast, she thought. Mr. Kracker slowed so as not to startle her. Hello there.
You're not from Peaceville, are you?
No, I come from another land. I'm here to visit a friend of mine, Tristan. Do you know of him?
Yeah, he's a neighbor of mine. He lives over there.
Thank you. I might have walked right past him in this fog. Name's Mr. Kracker.
My name's Brooke.
Nice to meet you, Brooke. I best be going before it gets dark. Take care of yourself. It's cold out here.
Bye.
It was dusk when Mr. Kracker arrived at Tristan's.
Oh, hi. Can I help you?
Yes, is Tristan here?
Tristan, someone's here to see you.
Hey, Mr. Kracker. It's good to see you.
Likewise, Tristan. Nice to see you back safe and sound.
Come on in. We have a lot to catch up on. Watch your step. Don't worry about your shoes. You can take them off in the mudroom. It's right over here. Right here, Mr. Kracker. I'll be right back.
Thanks, Tristan. Neat stairway. Boy, those are pretty steep steps. Ever fallen down before?
I've slipped down them a couple times. Thankfully, I haven't hurt myself, though.
That's good. Anything new and exciting on the adventure side?
I've been exploring the caves on the north side of the island, and I found a tunnel system that goes underneath a great lake.
That's interesting. I'll have to check that out. It could be another way off the island if I can't find a slider.
Have you heard back from Mr. E yet on that skeleton key I gave you?
No, not yet. And I'll let you know as soon as I do. Now that I know where you live, I can just send LJ over with a message.
I love to explore, but ever since my parents passed away, it feels like all of their responsibilities and burdens have been put on me by my grandma. Speaking of chores, I've got a lot to do tonight. You're welcome to stay here tonight. My grandma's already got a bed laid down for you downstairs, so make yourself at home.
Okay then. Nice talking with you, Tristan. Take care of yourself.
You too, Mr. Kracker.
As Mr. Kracker stepped into the living room, he looked around. This was much different than the forest cabin he was used to. Ah, I remember this book. Oh, who do we got here?
Mr. Kracker, this is Sharon and William, Tristan's niece and nephew.
Hi, Mr. Kracker.
Hi, guys. Nice to meet you.
Can you read us a story, Mr. Kracker?
Sure. This looks like a long book, but we can read some of it. The Little Pilgrim's Progress by Helen Taylor. Chapter 1. Little Christian Hears of the Celestial City. Little Christian lived in a great city called Destruction. Its streets were full of very young animals who laughed and played all day long. This was in the summertime when the sun was shining and the city looked bright and pleasant. On the rainy days in winter, the children did not feel so happy, and they would sometimes be glad to sit quietly and listen to the stories. Now and then strangers would come to the city for a little time, and these kind visitors always tried to make friends with the children and were willing to tell them stories whenever they would listen. There is a beautiful country, they would say, far from the city. A very good and wise king rules over it, who loves little creatures dearly. The prince to whom your city belongs is wicked and cruel, and he hates our good king. But one day an army will come from the king's country to fight against your wicked prince, and the city will be burned. You guys hear that? Something's out there.
I'm going to get a flashlight.
Well, whatever it was, seems to be gone now.
Cookies are ready.
Wow, look at those. Thanks, Grandma.
I hope you like them.
Let's take a break, guys, and have a cookie. You like cookies, right?
Yes.
Well, what do you think?
It's dark outside, Mr. Kracker.
Yeah, I think it's getting close to your bedtime.
Good night, Mr. Kracker.
Good night, William.
Okay, guys, it's time to brush your teeth. Come on, William, let's go. Your tea's ready.
Thank you, Grandma.
Yeah, I get called Grandma a lot around here. But my name's Cecilia. Cecilia Fain.
Nice to meet you, Cecilia. I don't tell too many people my full name, but officially it's Chris. Christopher Kracker. Your grandson sounds like he's a busy boy. He's been telling me what he's been up to lately.
Yeah, I worry about that boy. He's been having dreams about this Fowler character. He's been having a hard time sleeping at night.
Fowler. Always a problem. This is great tea, Cecilia. It tastes familiar.
I really like this kind of tea. It's one of my favorites. It's made from the herbs of the shore of Great Lake.
Well, it's been really nice talking with you, Cecilia. I'm going to head to bed now. It's been a long day. I'm pretty tired.
Good night. See you in the morning.
Cecilia hadn't had visitors for some time now. She really enjoyed the company. Goodbye, Cecilia.
Happy travels, Christopher.
Mr. Kracker headed toward the northern cliffs of Neutral Isle. No sooner had Mr. Kracker left Tristan's house than Fowler left the shady shack. In the light of morning, Mr. Fowler quickly found Mr. Kracker's footprints and followed them down into the vale. Stealthily he made his way to the back of the house, walking silently through the powdered snow.
Tristan, breakfast is ready.
I'll be right down, Grandma.
I had this terrible dream last night, Grandma. I had a dream where Mr. Kracker got lost on the north side of the island, in the caves and the cliffs, and he couldn't find his way out.
Another dream, Tristan? When will the end?
Maybe there's a way off this island after all, and where caves are, treasures lay. It was a beautiful morning in the Valley of Peace. White light bounces off the snowy ground in the light of the morning sun. A familiar figure climbs from the vale and heads north toward the northern cliffs. On the path ahead was an old barn shed. Mr. Kracker noticed something moving in the window. Well, hello there. LJ, I thought that was you. Hey, Mr. Kracker. Just taking a rest here waiting for you. It's great to see you again, LJ. What's up? First of all, I've got some exciting news for Mr. E. That key that I brought him was a little rusty, but after we cleaned it up, we found the words Station 1 and Knowledge engraved in it. Interesting, LJ. Any idea what the key opens? Yes, Mr. E searched the internet, and he found there are 3 base stations here on Neutral Island. The key opens the first base on Stone Hill, just north of here. Yesterday I met with the keeper. His name is Japhane. That name sounds familiar. He's heard of you as well, and he'd like to meet you. I'm on my way to the North Cliffs. I should stop by and visit. Do you still have the key? I gave him back his key, and he gave me a password for you. The password is, I come in peace. Thanks, LJ. How do I get there from here? Okay, take the north path to a sign that says 5 stones. Follow the path to the circle of 5 stones. The north stone points to Station 1. This works good, LJ. I'll stop by and visit Jafane, and then continue on to the North Cliffs. Always glad to help, Mr. Kracker. And just so you know, Fowler's still on the island. I know, LJ, and I have a feeling I'll be seeing him soon. Unfazed by the blowing snow, a figure stirs at the top of Stone Hill. On the side of the path was a sign. 5 stones, it said. Steel-colored clouds filled the sky, and it started to snow. When he had finally come upon the 5 stones, the light snow had turned into a blizzard, making it almost impossible for him to see. Which way now, he thought. Then he remembered LJ's words. Follow the North Stone, Mr. Kracker. One last climb, and there was the station, just where LJ said it would be. The solar fibers in Mr. Kracker's clothes kept him warm in the sub-zero temperature. Cautiously, he approached the base. Words he didn't understand covered the door. He didn't have to wait long before a face appeared in a small window.
Password, please.
I come in peace.
Did anyone follow you?
Not in this storm.
Name and land.
My name is Mr. Kracker, Christopher Kracker, and I come from Krackerland.
I've heard of you, Christopher, but I've never heard of Krackerland.
It's north of here, across Great Lake.
I've read of a land in the area that you speak of called Freeland, a beautiful land where there are no humans, only animals made of solar fibers that speak our language. Is this the Krackerland you speak of?
Well, yes, I guess. I've never heard of it called Freeland.
We've got a lot to talk about, Christopher. Follow me. Watch your step down these stairs. This concrete's unforgiving. This way, Chris. Welcome to the library. There's a world of knowledge in here, These are our latest stone samples, cut from the 5 stones.
One's missing.
There's a book up there on the top shelf. It'll tell you everything you need to know about the 5 stones.
Very interesting. Can't wait to read about them.
Have a seat, Mr. Kracker. I've got more important matters to discuss.
This sounds serious. What's up, Jafane?
Well, first of all, you're here because I wanted you here. I need your help. And your brother's help.
Brother?
You heard me, Christopher. Your brother, Fred. Fred Fowler.
Who are you?
I am Professor Jafane, a neutralite, keeper of the base of knowledge, first station on Neutral Isle. Born in North Moorland, Strangeland.
I'm impressed. Even Strangeland's internet has nothing on Freeland or Neutral Isle. You'd be a good ally. I'd like to think about this for a while. Do you mind if I took a look around?
Be my guest, Christopher. Take your time. I've got some studying to do.
Lost in thought, Mr. Kracker found himself in a room with no doors or windows. A familiar sound echoed off the concrete walls. Large blocks floated weightless off the floor. In the far west corner was a storage room. Stabilizers. Interesting. Excited with the information he had gathered from Tristan and Cecilia Fane in Peaceville, Mr. Fowler headed out of Peace Valley toward the northern cliffs. Once again he found himself following in Kracker's footsteps. Hey, Kracker can't be too far ahead, he thought. Careful, Mr. Fowler. As the brothers explored the island, LJ decided to head back to Forestland and check on Phineas and the rest of the animals. Thanks for giving me some time to think, Jafane. I think I've made my decision, and I'll help you out.
Excellent, Christopher. We'll keep in touch.
And with that being said, Mr. Kracker leaves Station 1 and heads toward the northern cliffs. With no source of light, Mr. Fowler found himself in darkness and had to turn back. Mr. Fowler. You look surprised to see me, Kracker. It was only a matter of time before we'd meet again. What mischief are you up to now? You should mind your own business. I've got work to do. I hope for your sake there's no spying or stealing involved. Listen here. My business is my business. I'm getting tired of you and that bird of yours following me around and acting like Big Brother. You may have the brains, Kracker, but I've got the brawn. So stay out of my way, or there'll be consequences. I'm sorry you feel that way, Fowler. I'll be on my way. Good riddance. Mr. Kracker did not like conflict. He decided to explore the lakeside, while Fowler cooled off. He'd meant to tell Fowler about Jafane, but now wasn't a good time. Meanwhile, Fowler was back to business, searching the cliffs for a source of light for the cave. It didn't take him long before he found an old torch, discarded in the rocks. Hey, this is perfect, he said. Crouching down, he fumbles through his tunic for his flint and steel. The torch sparkles to life, bathing the cave in a flickering golden glow. Fowler's feet stir up mists on the cold stone floor. As he presses forward, he admires the cave's interesting formations. Turning a sharp corner, he ducks to avoid a cluster of dripping stalactites. A stairway leads up. Dancing shadows play tricks with his eyes. Fowler hears something behind him, but nothing's there. Just an empty alcove. He follows a narrow stone stairway that leads down, deep into the mountain. A humid breeze blows from somewhere in the depths. As Fowler enters the large chamber, a gleam in the left wall catches his eye. To his right lies a small pond. There's a shovel and something shiny on the cave wall. A small gemstone. He decides to dig where the ground has been disturbed, near the base of the wall. He finds something. A small metal chest. Inside is a large gold coin with the initials T. Fane stamped on it, along with some colorful stones. Aye, Fane. Who's that? Who cares? Quite happy with his find, Fowler makes his way back to the entrance of the cave. As he exits the cave, he looks around, half expecting Mr. Kracker to be waiting for him. As he climbs the cliff's face, he thought of Mr. Kracker and what he had said to him. He couldn't help feeling a strange connection with the man. Aye, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. It hadn't been long since the fall. Blood oozed from Mr. Fowler's hand and eye. The scene had attracted one particular large bird. The bird looked more interested in what was beside Fowler's body than his body itself. A small chest lies close by, its contents scattered about. The bird was attracted to a large shiny coin, partially hidden in the moss. And it quickly leaves with its newfound treasure. A cool southern breeze blows the waves of Great Lake to the shoreline of Neutral Island. Cold and tired, Mr. Kracker heads back towards Station 1. He needed to let Jafane know that the plan he had to get Fowler's help had failed. On his way, he picked some herbs from the cliffside. A gift, he thought, Jafane would appreciate. His trusty staff steadied him as he climbed the rock's steep face. Dwarfed by the giant rocks, Mr. Kracker looked south toward Strangeland. The snow was melting fast, and spring was right around the corner. After the raven had stashed its shiny treasure, it returned and stared at the body quizzically. She decides to hop in for a closer look. What's this? I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Let me go. I'm here to help you.
Yeah, help pick my eye out. Be gone with you. Bruised, bleeding, and sore, Mr. Fowler slowly rose to his feet. The raven returned with a gift of help, as she had promised. An eye patch? Aye, that could come in handy. Fowler stumbles toward Great Lake, to tend to his wounds. His head ached, and with only his left eye to see, he felt very disoriented. The cool water felt good, and he did his best to wash the blood from his wounds. He looked around. He wasn't sure where he was, or who he was, for that matter. With the fall he'd had, he thought it best to stay close to the edge of Great Lake and stay off the cliffs for now. In the shade of an old tree, a raven appears, looking for a place to rest. Boo. Hey, what's up, Rook?
Not too much. I'm just taking a rest from the hot afternoon sun.
Aye, it's a warm one today. Say, I just wanted to thank you for finding this eye patch for me. It's been helping my eye a lot.
No problem. I like to collect things, especially shiny things.
Shiny, hey? Have you found a gold coin in your travels?
I might have. And if I did, I'd say it's a pretty fair trade for that eye patch.
Aye, you're a crafty one, Rook. I'll be talking to ye later. Fowler, too, is getting tired. He saw a spot by the old tree and decided to sit down and take a rest for a while. His eyes still throbbed with pain from the fall. He wondered if he'd ever be able to use it again. As Fowler rested, someone wandered in from the south. Mr. Kracker had been traveling in the hot sun for some time now. A shady tree ahead looked inviting. Hey, who's there? Fowler? What happened to your eye? Hey, who are you? And why are you calling me Fowler? What happened? I fell and hit my head. I can't seem to remember anything after that. Do you know who I am? Yes, you're Fred. Fred Fowler. My brother. I don't remember you, but you look trustworthy. Do you think you can help me? Well, I don't know how much I could help you, but I know somebody who can. His name's Jafane, and he lives on top of that mountain, right over there. Follow me, I'll take you to him. And with a ray of hope, Fowler decides to follow Mr. Kracker to Jafane's. Fall had come early to the forest, and deep within its walls, a lonely cabin stands quietly. Close by, a familiar fox plays in the tall grasses, and a deer drinks deeply from the cool waters of Trickle Creek. Well, hello there. LJ here, your eye in the sky. Well, it's been pretty quiet around here since Mr. Kracker and Fowler aren't around. I think it's about time I go and check on them and see how they're doing. Wait up, Chris. Meanwhile, down in the basement of Station 1 in the library.
Visitors.
Hey, is this guy home? Patience, Fred.
Welcome, Chris and Fred.
Jafane.
Careful on the stairs. Right this way, gentlemen. Welcome to the power room. To the right is the control room, straight ahead is my quarters, and to the left is the library and storage rooms. This way, gentlemen.
It's like a maze in here. The noise sounded familiar to Mr. Fowler, but he couldn't quite place it.
Welcome to the control room. Have a seat. It's nice to see you guys together. It's been a long time.
We're here to help, Jafane. What can we do?
Excellent. But first of all, I have something for you. For you, Chris, a light stone. And for you, Fred, some herbs to heal your eye.
Hey, nice.
The tasks before you won't be easy, but the rewards will be well worth it.
Aye. Rewards? I'm in. What exactly do we need to do, Jafane?
Many years ago, 3 keys were hidden. One here on the island, one in Strangeland, and one in Freeland. The first key is the key of knowledge. The second key, the key of binding. And the third key, the key of loosing.
And why can't you get the keys yourself?
Neutralites aren't welcome in Strangeland or Freeland. I'm also not very good at using the sliders, and where you're going, you're going to need them.
Fair enough. And what do I do with this?
The light stone? Well, you'll be able to attach it to your staff, and it'll enable you to see in the dark. This whole room is made of light stone.
Impressive. So where do we go from here?
Take Fred back to Freeland, the way you came in. And when you get back to Freeland, I'll send more instructions.
Okay then.
Godspeed.
Somewhere above the base, a raven was perched on an air vent, listening. Mr. Kracker and Fowler left the base and headed for Freeland. So you say the slider dropped you here? Yeah, right there, right in front of you. Aye, it's not here now. Nowhere to be seen. Let's try up this way. It was pretty foggy last time I was here. Maybe this isn't the right spot. Well, what have we got here? A crow?
A raven, actually.
What are you doing out in the forest all by yourself?
I'm waiting for someone. There he is now.
Rook.
Fowler. I almost didn't recognize you without your eye patch.
Aye, it's nice to have both eyes back again. What you up to, Rook?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've been following you guys for some time now, and it looked like you're a little lost.
We've been looking for a slider to help us get off Neutral Island. Say, you're good at finding shiny things. Have you seen anything interesting around here?
Shiny things. Well, the only thing I can think of is an abandoned mine just south of here. It may have shiny things. I can take you there if you want.
Hey, that sounds interesting. What do you think, Kracker? At this point, we don't have much of a choice. Lead the way, Rook. Now, where'd that bird go? There she is. Well, it looks like we found the mine. That looks like the entrance over there. Hey, where did Rook go? Maybe she went inside. It looks safe, Fred. I'm going in. Aye, right behind you. It's pretty dark in here, but I can still see. Looks like there's some glowstone lighting the way. A slider, hang on! A little disoriented, Mr. Kracker looked around at some familiar surroundings. Back in Freeland at last. Well, hello there. LJ here, your eye in the sky. Those wind currents sure are nice today. I'm doing double time. No sign of Mr. Kracker or Fowler yet. Phineas and Squeaks and the rest of the animals in Forestland, except for Poison, of course, are really worried that Mr. Cracker's not back yet, so I hope I find him soon. I think I'll cruise around the island one more time, and if I can't find them, I'll stop at Jafane's and see if he's seen them. I sure hope you guys are enjoying Krackertime. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you again soon. Up, up and away. The walk from Neutral Island had been tiring for Mr. Kracker. He couldn't wait to get back to his cabin in Forestland.
Hey there. I just had a visit from a raven who said Mr. Kracker's on his way here. That is so exciting. Mr. Kracker doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna plan a surprise for him when he gets here. Don't tell him, okay? Anyway, we got a cozy fire going here, and you're welcome too, so don't miss it.
Phineas? Phineas? You here? Must be in the other room.
Surprise!
Oh,
Welcome back, Mr. Kracker.
wow, that was nice. Nice to see you guys again. Phineas? Squeaks? How were you when I was gone?
Well, we managed. It sure helped that Fowler wasn't around.
Well, I'll be back for a bit, but I met a man in Neutral Island who has an important job for me. It's more of a journey, actually. I need to find a key that's somewhere here in Krackerland, so I won't be here for very much longer. It sure is nice to be back home and see you guys again, though.
Can we come with you, Mr. Kracker? This time? Can we? Please?
I don't think so, Squeaks. It's pretty dangerous.
And what about me?
Pan! There you are, my old friend. How are those old bones been treating you?
Well, I'm not getting any younger.
Not spry and chipper like these young guys over here.
Well, I found myself a new place in the cedar forest. At least it's nice and warm. Good for the old bones.
I hear ya, Panthera. Just remember, you can always come and visit us at the cabin. If you want to stay here or whatever you want, whenever you want. So, take care of yourself. These young guys are getting pretty good at looking after things around here. I almost don't have to be here anymore. Thanks for the visit, everyone. This was a great surprise. I have work to do now, so we'll see you guys tomorrow, okay?
Bye.
Before Mr. Kracker retired for the night, he decided he'd write another entry in his journal. In this entry, Mr. Kracker writes about his adventure to the mysterious Neutral Island, where he meets a man named Defane, a man of remarkable knowledge and a seeker of ancient truths. Defane asks for Mr. Kracker and Mr. Kracker's brother Fred Fowler's help in finding hidden treasure. Fowler has no interest at first, but a fall from a cliff changes his perspective on life, and he agrees to assist Defane in the quest for the 3 keys. Three keys, dangerous to acquire, but have the power to potentially unlock the island's deepest secrets.
Knock, knock. Anyone here? Hello?
Yeah, what do you want? Oh, it's you, Rook.
Surprised to see me, Poison?
Well, yes. I thought I'd seen the last of you with your fallout with Defane.
Yeah, the fallout. He doesn't like me too much. Well, all that's water under the bridge now. Onwards and upwards.
What are you up to, Rook? Stole anything lately?
Ha ha, funny, Poison. Actually, I'm here to warn you about something. You might find this interesting.
Go ahead. Humor me.
Fowler's on his way back from Neutral Island. He could be here at any time. And he's changed, Poison. He's not the same Fowler you used to know. He's actually getting along really well with Mr. Kracker now. They're like good buddies. I don't think he's gonna take too kindly of you when he gets back.
As Fowler crosses Trickle Creek, autumn leaves twist and turn in the waters beneath him. He hurries home, anticipating his new adventure. Whoa, Rook, how'd you get here?
Well, through the window, of course.
Ha, me and Kracker, we didn't know where you disappeared to.
Well, I stopped at Jafane's. He wanted me to give you the information on how to find that key you're looking for.
You're a sneaky one. I didn't know you were so involved. In fact, Defane didn't even mention you.
Well, where you're going, there'll be dangers untold. You're gonna need a trusted weapon. And a guide, so I'm coming with you.
Okay then. Defane said he was sending a messenger. Let's get on with it. In his workshop, Fowler had gathered a collection of interesting items from different lands. Among them, his sword, a prized possession. Aye, it's nice and sharp. This will do.